This is a lecture from Open Tuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
This is the first of the corporation tax chapters, and it is important that you watch all of the chapters in the order in which the manual is written in order to be able to progress your knowledge through each chapter. If you watch them out of sequence and listen to them, deal with them out of sequence, then you will have missed things, because as with all of these taxes, it builds bit by bit. So let's start with the introduction. What is the scope of corporation tax? So companies that are registered and resident in the UK are chargeable to corporation tax on their worldwide income and gains. So what is a company that is registered or resident in the UK? This could come up as a multiple choice question, perhaps in section A, to test your knowledge of these rules. So they are resident in the UK if it's either incorporated here, and you'll be able to tell because it'll say limited or PLC. So a limited company is normally one that's not registered on the stock exchange, and obviously a PLC is. Or, so that's easy. Or centrally managed and controlled from the UK, and it might be an Inc. Incorporated overseas, but the majority of its directors are resident in the UK, and that's where all the board meetings are held. So further on from this then, we need some more definitions and some more rules. A period of account is different from an accounting period. So let's look at those individually. A period of account is a period for which a company prepares its accounts, usually 12 months long, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer. It always starts at the beginning of the business, so when the business commences, and it always ends, obviously, when the business ceases to trade. But it can also have a beginning and an end if there's a change of accounting date. And as I say, normally they are 12 months long. Now, corporation tax is charged for accounting periods. Now, normally those are the same. Okay, a period of account to 12 months is exactly the same as an accounting period. But when you are working out the TTP, which is the total taxable profits, sometimes if you have a long period of account, then you need two accounting periods, because an accounting period can never exceed 12 months. If you get one that's 12 months, if you get one that's, say, 15 months long because they've changed their accounting date, then it would always be 12 plus. Okay, always 12 and then the balance. Now, accounting periods start normally straight after the previous one. They can also start where they commence to trade, or when they've perhaps started in business but they haven't actually had any profits. So profits otherwise become liable to tax. And it ends obviously 12 months after the beginning, or when they cease to trade, or again the profits cease to be liable to corporation tax. And again, you can see that as a multiple choice question in section A. A lot of the admin questions, self-assessment, when the forms have got to be in, what are the dates that the claims have to be made, all that sort of thing, sometimes comes up in section A. Now, the rates of corporation tax. So for the financial years 21 and 22, the rate was 19%, a single rate, and any corporation tax was dealt with very, very simply. So when that was being examined, there were a lot more questions about different things. Now, these are new rules for this Finance Act. So if you're a retake from a previous year, you need to make sure that you put all of that aside and learn these rules, because these rules haven't been in place for 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 years. They have gone back to rules that were that old because the process worked. So these are new rules for this Finance Act. Please make sure that your textbooks are up to date and will include this information. So a finance year runs, so the 23 year, which is the one we're dealing with, it runs from the 1st of April 2023 to the 31st of March 2024, and there are 2 rates of tax. The small profits rate is 19%, and that applies to augmented profits below £50,000. All of this will become familiar as we go through. Now, there is then a main rate of 25%, which applies to augmented profits over 250,000. That's the upper limit. The lower and the upper limits are proportionally reduced for short accounting periods, also for the number of associated companies. Now, let me just show you what I mean by that. Let's get a piece of paper. I'm going to draw it out for you so that you can see what I mean, because they're not the easiest rules in the world to understand. So basically, we have small profits, lower limit, 19%, and then we have the main rate, which is 25%. Okay, those are the 2 rates it will be in the tax rates. So anything up to £50,000 will be taxed at 19%. Anything over £250,000 will be taxed at the main rate. What, you say, happens in the middle? Well, this is called the margin. We're going to deal with that in a minute. But the margin basically means that you pay tax at the full rate with relief. Because if you think about it, if you've got £50,000 worth of profits, you pay tax at 19%. If you've got £50,100 worth of profit, you're no longer in that rate. It would be harsh if you shot from 19% to 25% on that extra, on all of those profits. So this is the way that it's been set up, and you'll see this as we work our way through. But just be aware that that bit in the middle is the margin, which allows you to transition from lower profits at 19% to higher profits at 25%, and it eases the process through. Now, that note that I read to you there, lower and upper limits are proportionally reduced for short accounting periods. Let's look at that first. So, what happens if we have a short period of, say, 6 months? Same situation, 19%, 25%, that doesn't change. However, this 50,000 is then proportioned, which obviously now becomes 25,000. So if your profits are up to 25,000 in that 6 month period, you'll pay tax at 19%. Accordingly, this high rate is also proportioned, giving us 125,000. And once your profits hit 125,000 in that 6 month period, you will pay tax at 25%. If you are in the margin, then you ought to pay tax at the full rate, the main rate, and then you will get relief. Go back to the notes because there's another one. The number of associated companies, and obviously we're going to deal with that later. I just want you to understand the process of how this tax works at this stage. So say we have associated companies. This is companies that are owned by a holding company, so say some subsidiaries. So say we got 3 of those. Again, 19%, that rate doesn't change. 25%, that rate doesn't change. The margin is what it is. But what we have to do, so say we've got a holding company and subsidiary number 1 and subsidiary number 2, this is our 3 associated companies. What we would then do is divide that £50,000, which is the rate, by 3, which would give us 16,667. So if any of the companies have profits up to 16,667, then they will pay tax at 19%, because they're all treated and dealt with the same. Anything over that, they'll be in the margin until they get to, and again, I think you can understand where we're going with this, that is also divided up, and that's the rate at which you start to pay the full rate, which means that limited companies who are associated together, there are lots of benefits of being there. So they have to have benefits, ups and downs. So this is one of the downs, is the fact that that rate has to be divided between the 3 of them. And obviously, they will then pay more tax as a consequence. So I hope that kind of explains those 2 sentences. Now, what you need to do is perhaps to read through this section again and look at that and the way I've dealt with it, and I'm trying to get that in your head before you move on. Now, it also said all the way through here, augmented profits. What are augmented profits? These are the taxable total profits plus dividends received, but not dividends received from an associated company. Okay, so that's dividends from external. And we're going to do some calculations. You'll see how that works. Now, I mentioned marginal relief. So this eases the transition from the small rate to the main rate. Now, what you do is you calculate the tax at the main rate of 25% and then reduce it by marginal relief. And that is the formula that we will use. And that is the fraction which is there. Okay, so it's the upper limit of 250 minus the augmented profits times the fraction divided by the augmented profits times the TTP. So that's kind of how it works. Now, if no dividends are received, the final part of the formula can be omitted. You don't need to do it. Okay. You pay your corporation tax, just an admin bit, 9 months and 1 day after the end of the accounting period. Large companies normally pay quarterly because the government don't want to have to wait. So these are the rates that will be given to you in the exam. Never guess. Okay, always check. So let's look at an illustration of how this is going to work. Okay, we've got 4 companies that we're going to have a look at here. Simple Limited, Not So Simple Limited, Tough Limited, and Very Tough Limited. You can imagine why I worded them as I did, because the first one is simple, the second, not so. The third one is tough, and the last one's very tough. But the questions and the answers are standard, so you will be able to use that information in this illustration to help you to answer any question that you might come across. So let's have a look at that. So Simple has taxable profits of 40,000 and dividends from non-group companies of 3. Let's have a look at the answer for Simple. So the corporation tax, augmented profits are the 2 added together. So that's the 40 plus the dividends. They are below the lower limit, and therefore the 40,000 is taxed, not the augmented profits. The augmented profits is a calculation figure to work out at what rate you pay tax. You have to be careful with this, because having worked out 43, some of you will tax that. Done it myself in the past. Okay. Always make sure if you're doing this, augmented profits, you do it as a working away from your answer, so that your answer is already set up with 40,000 taxed at. Do your augmented profits somewhere else, work out the percentage and bring it back, and that way you probably won't tax 43%, 43,000, you'll tax 40%, 40,000. So the 40,000 is taxed at 19%, and there's your answer. Simple. Simple. Not so simple. Let's have a look at that. So not so simple had TTP of 240 and dividends from non-group members of 14,000. So if we always work out as you're working, augmented profits are the two added together. Therefore, it's over the upper limit, and the profits are taxed at 25%, giving you 60,000. Simple, but not so. Okay, let's have a look at Tough. Tough has profits of 180,000. Okay, so let's have a look at Tough. Marginal relief applies as augmented profits of 180,000 are between the upper and lower limits of 50 and 250,000. Therefore, we always tax the profits at the main rate for 25%, giving us 45,000. Now, we then, with no dividends, we then do the marginal relief calculation, which is augmented profits minus TTP. Now, because there's no dividend, all you have to do is apply the fraction, giving us relief of £1,050, giving corporation tax due of 43,950. So a simple question where we have just profits, which are in the margin, tax at the main rate, and then deduct the marginal relief. How about one that is slightly tougher? So here we have profits and dividends. So go back to the question just to make sure we know where we're at. TTP of 180 and non-group dividends of 24. Okay, so we now have to do a little bit more. This is a full question. Now, with anything like this, copy down from the notes the marginal relief formula. Okay, please copy that down. Then insert the numbers, which is what we've done here. So profits were taxed at the main rate. This is our marginal relief. Show every working, please. Augmented profits minus TTP times the fraction times profits over augmented profits. Okay. So I've done that wrong. See, now what did I not do? What did I not do? I didn't check. Okay, so forgive me. Let's just rub that out and let's do that again because I didn't check. And you can see how easy it is not to check, can't you? Okay, you can see how easy. It's the upper limit minus augmented profits. Didn't look right when I did it. Times the fraction times TTP over augmented profits. There you go. It's easy to make it too wrong. I said this was a very tough one and I was right. Okay, always copy down the fraction. I've shown you there, that's what happens. Okay, forgive me. So when you do the calculation for this, I'm just going to get rid of this because I'm going to do the workings. What we need to do is to make sure that we do all these calculations individually. So the answer to that is 46,000. Okay, which we would then multiply by 3 200ths, which is the standard fraction. That then gives us 690. Now, we are then going to multiply that by 180 over 204, which will give us 609. Show every working as you are doing it and deal with it accordingly. Okay, so let's move on to what happens if we have a short accounting period.